Based on a true story no less, Blackbird is an interesting and well-written thriller. The story revolves around Jimmy Keene, who makes a deal with the FBI to become friends with Larry, a suspected serial killer, despite being given a 10-year term in a minimum security jail. He must specifically discover where Larry might have stashed up to 18 murdered women's bodies. But as Larry draws near, time is of the essence. In the fourth installment of the crime drama Blackbird on Apple TV+, titled What's Your Name?, James Jimmy Keene makes an effort to build a relationship with the alleged serial killer Larry Dwayne Hall. After a riot at the Springfield Penitentiary, Jimmy and Larry had a chance to discuss their early years. When Officer Jay Carter confronts Jimmy about the cocaine he planned to sell to satisfy the officer, Jimmy admits that his father James Big Jim Keene was unable to locate the substance and had already spent all of his money. Gary Hall, Larry's brother, meets with the alleged killer to discuss an occurrence that suggests Larry might be released from prison. The opening scenes of What's Your Name show Larry's father burying a man's casket after the funeral. He woke Larry up at night and the two of them proceeded to the graveyard. For him to be able to open the casket, Larry's father asked Larry to dig the dirt. Jimmy searches Larry's stuff in the present and Springfield for hints, but all he discovers are macabre sketches of women. Jimmy is questioned by Officer Carter regarding the product Big Jim was expected to supply. Carter exits the prisoner's cell after Jimmy makes it plain that he lacks the resources to meet his demand, either in terms of money or goods. In flashback scenes, Jimmy is shown being trained and inspired by Big Jim to become a renowned football player. Big Jim's neglect of his son and Lynn as a cop harmed Jimmy's parents' relationship. Big Jim and Lynn frequently quarreled about the former's absence, leaving Jimmy defenseless. Larry, a young boy, began to collect ornaments from the body in the casket. When he was unable to remove a ring, Larry's father instructed him to cut a finger from the deceased person so that he could do so more easily. Larry removed the ring from a severed finger as directed by his father. As numerous prisoners assault one another, a riot breaks out in Springfield. A lockdown is implemented by the authorities after several prisoners stab or slit the necks of their fellow prisoners. Jimmy is one of the prisoners helping Larry clean the mess hall. Together, Larry and Jimmy do some cleaning while exchanging childhood stories. Larry learns from Jimmy that his stepfather Glenn used to abuse both his mother Lynn and him. He continues by saying that Lynn abandoned him and his feelings after Glenn hit him one time. Larry explains to his new acquaintance that Lynn loved Glenn more than she loved him after hearing about Jimmy's experience. When Gary meets his brother Larry in jail, Larry explains that Wabash police detectives had come to speak with him about the alleged murderer. Gary and Larry ponder their involvement in Larry's case, particularly given that he is incarcerated. Larry quickly understands that his initial trial was flawed and incomplete, and that there may be a chance for him to be allowed go from prison. The alleged murderer links the police officer's visit to Larry's potential release from prison because the Wabash police will likely be in charge of monitoring him if he is released. However, given Jimmy's advancement in his objective, Larry might not be able to leave the prison without restriction. Jimmy succeeds in not only befriending Larry despite the threat to his cover, but also convincing him to admit that he had a rag on hand that was dipped with starting fluids to render women unconscious. Jimmy's aim has advanced thanks to the disclosure and Larry's admission that he had sex with women without caring about them. The rag's disclosure by Larry may also be seen as a progress to his potential admission, as Jimmy may force him to explain what he did to the females after making them unconscious. Time is really running out for Jimmy to get a confession out of Larry before he leaves prison free, as Special Agent Lauren McCauley and government lawyer Edmund Beaumont fear. However, Jimmy and Larry are becoming close enough for the alleged murderer to divulge his secrets to his new buddy, giving Jimmy the chance to persuade Larry to confess to the alleged murder of Trisha Reidler and perhaps many more crimes.